But we began this half hour with new details from Whitney Houston's autopsy. The final coroner's report indicates the singer had a hole in her nose, which is common in long-term drug abusers. A white powdery residue was found in a spoon on the bathroom counter, and medication, drugs, marijuana were also found in her system. None of the drugs on their own were at lethal levels, according to the report, but the combination may have contributed to her losing consciousness and falling into the tub where her body was found face down. She also, according to this report, suffered burns from the scalding hot water she drowned in. I'm joined by Bradley Jacobs. He's the senior editor for Us Weekly. Bradley, thank you for your time. This is the final report, at least an official one from the coroner, from medical personnel involved in all of this. And some of these details are, the whole story, obviously, we know is tragic and heartbreaking. But you see the effects that drugs cause on her body.
Yes, it is extremely detailed. This is a 42-page report that should stand as a testimony to kids for the dangers of drugs. This was beautiful Whitney Houston, but look at this grim picture that it's painting of her final hours. Cocaine in her body, not to mention Xanax, Benadryl, pot, muscle relaxants, things in the room, an open bottle of beer, champagne, as you mentioned, a white powdery substance on a spoon and on a mirror, and something that sounds like marijuana rolled as a joint. All this in one hotel room the night of the Grammys.
And doctors point to, obviously, some of those things you named are legal, but combined, the Xanax combined with the cocaine which was in her body, and obviously the other medicines can prove lethal. But with that said, what I find intriguing about it is that we've heard from so many of Whitney's friends and family members who I interviewed, the hairstylists who worked with her for a decade or so, who say that she was either clean or they didn't see any of this.
The family, of course, will stand by Whitney. The family wanted to paint a picture of a different Whitney that they kept saying she was really on a comeback the last few months.
And understandably, because you love someone, you want to see them get out of this hole.
She's your blood. Yeah. She's your family. But the truth of the matter is, it was not the case at all. She was just suffering just as serious addictions as she always had, and the proof is in this report.
Yeah, and we pointed out the damage to, for example, her nose, which is common in people who have long-term cocaine abuse issues there.
There was a hole in her nose. I mean, it's
graphic. It's hard to read and say because you just see the outside of someone, but this was tearing her apart inside.
Yes. Well, I'm not sure exactly. I mean, we need to read.
Well, she's had a heart condition.
Yes.
If we're not born with this issue with our nose, as I pointed out, it's from long-term drug abuse, so that is internal damage.
That is true. Yes. I mean, we'd have to read Whitney's journals to know if she was really, really trying to battle this out herself. But the truth of the matter is she was going to be at the Grammys seeing all her friends and her colleagues, and she was participating in cocaine use and all this just in the last few hours beforehand.
Oh, that's so sad. All right, Bradley, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate you coming on. And again, this is the final report on her life.
Yes.
Texas Governor Rick Perry surveys tornado